What's in the box? This is the first video of what I'm calling it, because I can't think of anything else, What's in the Box Challenge. This is the box. It's a shoe box that I've tried to put some washi tape from Altenew on to make it pretty for the video. But anyway, in here is either stuff that I have not used ever, or as I was purging, I was like, oh, I'm gonna use this. And that was probably like 2 years ago. So that's what's in this box. So I'm going to blindly reach into this box and pull out 5 things. And those 5 things I'm going to have to use on today's card. I'm not gonna look in the box. I'm not gonna feel around because I'll be able to tell if one thing's a tube and one thing's not. I'm just gonna reach in here and pull it out, and then we'll go over what it is, and then I'll have to make something. This is not going to include your basic staples like paper, glue, ink. These are like the product of the guts of what I'm going to use to make the card with. All right, so anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm gonna put this away and see what I pulled out. First thing I pulled out is Shimmery Goodness. What is this? Stencil butter. I remember buying this. Okay. Nuvo Dream Drops in the color on here. Dragon Scales. All right. Okay. These are some clear stamps from Amber, that is not her name, from Amber Rain Davis, Nature Baubles. I'm gonna have to use that today. And then the last thing is this random leaf stencil. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I don't know. I don't know how these 2 things are gonna go. I don't even know what this is. I guess it's like embossing paste, but dries clear and iridescent. Add shimmer to ordinary paint or gel. You need this. That's what it says. Then I've got some stencil butter. These are in 2 colors that sit next to each other on the color wheel, so I should be able to do something with that. So without further ado, okay, let's get cracking with these 5 products I pulled out of my magic box. All right, so I'm going to use my Misty and line up the 2 baubles here. Just eyeballing it, placement, whatever. Having absolutely no plan with what I'm doing except what I'm doing at the moment. This is literally something I could not plan for. I had no idea what I was going to pull out of that box. So we're winging it. You get to see it in full view here. And some of it's going to be ugly. I'm going to go ahead and say it. But I show you how to save some things. So I went ahead and stamped those baubles with some black ink. It's a pigment ink, so I did make sure to zap it with my heat tool to make sure it was good and dry. Now I'm going to take that leaf stencil, all the exact products, the colors, everything is going to be linked below in the description for you. So I'm taking this Shimmery Goodness that the bottle says you have to have it. All right, so I've got it. I put it on a flexible spatula there, and I'm just schlucking it on there. This is probably a product that would look great on dark cardstock too, but again, not knowing these products, I didn't know, so we're doing white cardstock. Then I thought, hey, let me bring in some stencil butter because I got to use some of that too. So it's shiny. These are, again, clearly, as you saw as I was going through them, I have never used them ever. So they're both shiny. They both have a very creamy consistency from what I'm seeing as I use them for the first time. Then I let that dry a little bit, and let's go ahead and add some more shine because there's not enough. And I'm going to use the Dragon Scales. I just have a wet brush. I'm just constantly dipping my brush into a little puddle of water. And then I'm going to pick up that Dragon Scales and just paint the little leaves on these baubles. I think that's what they are. I don't know. That's what they're going to be. So lots of shine on this card. We've got the Shimmery Goodness, the Stencil Butter, I think that's what I said it was called, and the Dragon Scales. So I'm going to go in and color in these baubles. They got it. I mean, I didn't have to color them. I could have left them white, but I don't know. That's not where my brain was taking me. So let's just bring in more shininess because you can never have too much shine. although maybe you can in this instance. I don't know. Using what I got, using what I drew out of the box. So I went ahead and colored the ornament in, added a little bit more of that stencil butter to the leaves to tie the two colors together. And then this is where things just go so wrong. So wrong. But I'm leaving it in the video for you because a lot of you say you like to see my mistakes and you like to laugh at me. I feel you. I like to laugh at me too. So I'm going in with this. This is glitter accent. So it's actually like Nuvo drops with glitter in it. Those look like blobs of blobs. They are just not pretty. So let me try to fix it by adding little bits of that shimmery goodness to the center of the blobs. That did not work. As you will see, I'm not starting over. I'm using what I have from that box. I am not starting over. I'm just not. So I'm going to let the blobs of red goop dry. And while it is, let me show you my Skillshare. I have been following Jane Davies. I love her. Every class she posts, I am on there like butter on bread. I just can't wait to see what she does. I love her style. I love how she explains things. I love how she uses paint straight from a tube. I just love it. And I follow all of her classes. I adore them. They're broken out in a very easy to follow, but also in a very engaging way, so you never lose focus. She doesn't do things that are hard, so you can follow them without feeling like a complete failure. So I actually painted this panda bear I'm going to show you here in a second. But I've got a special offer for you. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring whatever you want to. If watercoloring's not your jam, that's okay. They've got so many things. It's insanity. I've got to tell you, you can find anything and everything in Skillshare. So click the link below, check it out. You've got nothing to lose here. And these are some of the prints that I've created using Jane Davies. Some of these are straight from her classes, and some of these, that's my dog Sadie, by the way, and some of these are things that I've done, you know, on my own, using what I've learned from her classes. All right, so let's get back to the card here. Look at that blob. Would you, I mean, it almost looks like those candies. You remember those candies? They were like little button candies, and they had a little center. These look like a messy version of them button candies. But we're going to fix that in a second. So I've got two different colors of ink I'm going in with because the white was just too white. And since I've never used these butters and this shimmery goodness and the stencil butter before, I didn't know how the ink was going to take to that, but it's fine. Like the yellow is still yellow, and the shimmery goodness, you can actually see it better. So it's definitely sparkly. So adding some color definitely was the way to go with this card. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my fingernail and scrape some of this mess off. Scrape it off, get out of there. Flatten it up as much as you can. It wasn't totally dry, so I was able to kind of peel up that top blobby layer. And I'm going to keep scraping as much as I can. I'm trying to get in between the berries because they just look like a big blob. So anyway, taking my tool called the fingernail and scraping it apart. And then I'll go in one more time with that dark color Cranberry Fizz, which I love. I love those two colors together, Clay Mask and Cranberry Fizz. Now I'm thirsty. But anyway, I'm going to go in and go around the edges here and really intensify the edges. And so the middle is almost like a halo of that Clay Mask color, and then I've got that pretty Cranberry Fizz. I needed a sentiment, and I couldn't find one that would work in that little itty bitty space that I left for myself from the stamp set. So I'm going into my magic mug, and I dumped everything out, and I found a sentiment that I thought was fitting. Time to celebrate. Could be for Christmas. You're celebrating Christmas or whatever. And I just went ahead and inked it up with the remaining ink on that blending brush of that Cranberry Fizz, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Glue it down. This is my all-time favorite glue ever. I think I have a dedicated video about this glue. If not, I should, because I just love it. I've gotten away from, I don't even have any runners anymore. I just use this glue for everything. Anyway, I use the little bottles to kind of let that glue soak into the paper a little bit, and that's good. And once this stuff is dry, the glue, I mean, it's not going anywhere. But the benefit of using a liquid glue is it gives you some wiggle room, like I'm going to do here. When I go and put this on, it's not completely straight. So before it dries, I don't know, you got about a 30-second window. I can move it around. I can push that around and get it where it needs to be. And bada bang, bada boom. Good Lord. That was tough. That was tough, I gotta say. Here's a look at the finished card. There's quite a bit of shine on there. Anyway, these little berries gave me a run for my money. Got some glitter up under my fingernails now, trying to dig it out, but ultimately it turned out okay. These are products I probably would never have thought to match up. Probably won't match this stencil with this stamp set ever again. But the fun was in the challenge. The challenge was accepted, and I did it. I made this card. I'm giving it away. It's going to someone, and whoever's going to get it is going to freaking love it. That's all there is to it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Do you like this kind of video? Do you want me to make more? I mean, I decorated a shoebox from Amazon with some washi tape, so I'd like to put that to use. So let me know if that's something you want to see. What do you want to see in that box? Do you want to see, all mediums and pick from mediums, or what? Or do you like a hodgepodge of everything I just dumped in there? So you tell me. See you next time.